Hi, you guys. Welcome to the Get It Done podcast with Erin. The podcast where I talk to season two. Season two is where I talk to business owners and I listen to their stories. The goal of season two is to share other business owners, share what they're doing. But my prayer for the podcast is to inspire people that are just scared to move forward, make the decision to do a thing, and do it. Like there's so many people scared of I don't know what, but my goal is to defeat the spirit of fear, um, for everybody around me, anybody that comes in contact with me, including the person that's listening to or watching this podcast. If you are listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please subscribe. If you are watching on YouTube, subscribe. If you are watching on Instagram or where else am I live at? Facebook, follow. So, what I do is I talk to people that I don't know. Most of the guests I have never heard from them. I don't know what their businesses are. I do have an application process where they include the details of their business, but by the time they schedule, I forgot who they are and all that. So I will add our guests live now. Hi.
Hi.
Happy Friday. Or what is today, girl? Happy Wednesday.
Today's now Thursday for me. Today's now
Oh,
Thursday.
yes, because you're a little far away. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm really good, thank you. Okay, so please let me know how is it Zanisha?
Zanisha, yes.
Nisha. Okay, almost got it. So I'll let you introduce yourself and your business.
Hi, everyone. I'm Zanisha Broussard. I am the owner of LaShawn's Luxury Experience.
Nice. And what do you guys do?
So, we are a full time party event planning
Oh,
business
nice.
as well as event designing. So, the thing is, with my business, it's a little bit different than your usual event planning and designing business. I do offer treats for parties as well, like chocolate covered strawberries, cupcakes,
Nice.
pretzels, things like that, as well as party rentals such as like chairs, tables, different props, different backdrops, different things like that as well.
Nice. And how long have you been doing it? That's a lot. Party planning is just a lot of work, period.
Yes, it is. It is. So the treats part of my business is what actually started it. So I graduated back in 2018, and for my graduation party, I decided to make the chocolate covered strawberries for my graduation party. And you know how they say, like, your first one is always like the bad one. That was like literally the worst work of my life. Like, I don't know why my family was like, yeah, they're so good. It was bad. Like,
Bad, like nasty or ugly?
the design itself, it wasn't bad. It was just, since I was so new to it, I didn't really know the science behind doing covered fruit. So I was like putting them in the freezer, taking them out, putting them in the freezer, taking them out, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. The texture wasn't even the same when we got to the thing. It was just, it was it was bad. Like
How funny.
it was really really bad. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna really just do this anymore. But as time went on, people in my family, my friends, they started to ask me to do them again. So I was kind of like, okay, let me just go ahead and do it or whatever. And I started to get better at it. So I was like, okay, this will be cool. And then it got to a point to where more people started ordering. So I was like, okay, this is getting pretty serious. Maybe I
Like,
should.
wait, this was not the plan.
Yeah, like I was not supposed to get, all of this attention behind it. But I was like, okay, you know what? Let me just, do it as a side hustle. So I was like, okay, cool. So actually, December of 2022 is when I decided to make it to a full blown event planning and designing business. And that was strictly because I like to have parties. I love themes. I love dressing up. I just love everything from beginning to end. So I was like, I might as well just do it as a full-time career. And it's just been takeoff ever since with it. I'm gonna be so honest with you.
Nice. So you do it full time?
I wouldn't. To be honest with you, I feel like I do it full time because I'm always working on my business. Like I'm always working on my business. Like how they tell you,
Same.
everybody's not fit to be an entrepreneur because you're literally clocked in 365. I'm literally clocked in 365. Like if
Yeah.
I'm not at an event that I'm participating in, that I like sponsored, like some treats or some balloons, or if I'm not at one of my events that I'm having, I'm going to an event. And if I'm not going to an event, I'm taking some type of course to try to, learn more things as far as the business side goes and different stuff like that. So I consider it to be full time just because I'm always like doing stuff, looking
Doing
at
something.
doing something for it, looking at different content ideas, looking at different events going on in my area, looking at different patterns, just different types of stuff because there's so much that can go into it. It's always something new for me to learn.
Nice. So you said, I heard you say your own events. So do you produce events or like when people hire you to
So I
do?
do both. I do both.
Okay.
I had my first networking event last September, and it was a more so focused towards the modeling industry. Someone that was a co-host for that event, he's actually a model himself, and he moved. I forgot where he's from. Pretty sure when he sees this, it's gonna be like really because we've known each other for so long, but. Um, he wanted to move out here to Houston because the modeling industry in Houston really isn't, it's big, but it's not big versus if he was in LA or like maybe even,
New
Atlanta or
York.
something. Yeah, or
Yeah.
New York or a place like that. So he was trying to, like make it and bring that to the city, which I was like, okay, yeah, I'm all for it. This is my first, my first event or whatever. And taking on something like a modeling networking event is I think very big for me because I'm not used to that. I'm not a model. I'm not friends with models. I've never been to modeling events. So it was
Yeah.
definitely,
You don't know that culture.
yeah, I don't know the culture. So like it was definitely a good experience for me to, have that be my first event just so I can kind of get the gist of how, things could possibly go if I did get hired for an event like that. And
Yeah.
honestly, it was a good event. We had a nice turnout. We invited photographers, models, we had vendors there as well. So I do both. I actually plan on having hosting two other events this year as well in the next coming months.
Nice. That models are a good thing to focus on because models will for sure come out because they used to like basically working for, well, initially like they're not looking to get paid, they're looking for
Yeah,
gigs. So
yeah.
yeah, models, that's a good industry to host events for, really. But what are you grateful for today?
Honestly, I'm grateful for any and everything. I'm kind of like in this space right now that I'm learning to be more grateful for the little things. Just stopping and realizing, hey, this is what I have going on. I didn't have this going on last year. Like for example, I just renewed my lease, so this is going to be my second time in this apartment. And just thinking about it, like, man, I'm living one of my prayers that I recently prayed not too long ago. So just kind of just being grateful for just being alive and just being able to go to work every day and being able to live my I'm currently living my dreams. So to even able to say that, because a lot of people, they don't chase after their dreams. They think they run into different obstacles and things like that, and they're not able to get to the point to where they are able to live their dreams. So I'm just grateful for just being in the moment and being present and even being able to talk to you and things like that.
Thank you. That happened, well, that didn't happen to me, but so I am a girl. It's so funny that you say all that, but I am a girl that lives my life extremely grateful for, even like the bad stuff I'm just grateful for. But what
Yeah.
happened was a couple, well, while I was working before I quit my job, I hit my head at work, And then, long story short, they said they found bleeding on my brain. They told me that they was gonna have to give me brain surgery. I was like, oh no, I rebuke that in the name of Jesus.
Yeah.
But the whole process, like, it was not painful for me or anything like as bad as they said it was. But I came out of that situation like I really could have had brain surgery, and they really could have like messed something up there. So like every little thing, especially like right after it happened, I was just overwhelmed with like just being grateful for it. When I would be sitting eating my food, I'm like, I could have had brain surgery and I wouldn't be able
Mhm.
to feed myself, or like I could be like using the bathroom, like I could be having somebody else have to take me to the bathroom. So but being grateful is an extreme game changer, like any situation in life, especially in business, because we go through so much. We're doing stuff like when we have a job, we clock in and we know we getting a check. Like what we're doing is something completely opposite of that. And being grateful has just, I guess, helped me stay focused on whatever my goals are. But game changer. I am a grateful girl. Okay, so who is your ideal client, or do you have an ideal client?
Um, to be completely honest with you, because I've thought about that a couple of times. Like, the usual whenever you start up your business, you're trying to figure out, okay, so who is my target audience? Who is the ideal person am I pitching to as far as, trying to get them to book me for their event? And to be honest with you, I don't think I've developed my ideal client as of yet. I know that regardless of whatever type of event it is, whether it's like a birthday party or whether it's, a baby shower, a small corporate event, a small intimate, dinner or anniversary, things like that, um, my company provides a luxury experience regardless. Even if you don't necessarily book me for an event, if you just want to order chocolate covered strawberries one day for like Valentine's Day or sometimes like Mother's Day or things like that, regardless what it is, even if you order just pretzels from me, you're still provided that luxury experience no matter what it is. That's just my brand. I've had several different people that have ordered from me that have told me, like, yeah, like you definitely have that luxury experience just off of just eating just a strawberry just right off the rip. Um, I go I go so far with this. It was one time person, and I tell people this all the time, but that's just how I am with my business and how passionate I am about it. Someone had ordered some chocolate covered strawberries from me, and I'm very picky about the stuff that I get for my business because I want the best for my customers because you're supposed to be, you're getting an experience from me. So I drove to 5 different Kroger's to look for strawberries, the perfect size and the perfect ripeness, just because I feel like, you're spending your money, your hard-earned money, on trying to, buy something like this. A lot of times, a lot of my first-time clients I've never met before, I don't know them. So it's like you're also, taking that chance on me, on someone you don't know. And it's like it's a lot that goes into making a purchase. So I'm like very, very specific on how I want all of that to be done. So I've gone miles just to provide that experience. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So I wouldn't necessarily say it's like my ideal client. I would just maybe I haven't gotten that far yet. Maybe I haven't gotten that far yet.
So, do you prefer kids parties or adults?
Ooh.
Wait, so do you do like the balloons and
Mhm.
you do everything? Girl,
Yes.
you working.
Yes. So my party is I'm sorry, my company is your one-stop party shop. So like literally you have everything up under one umbrella versus having to drive to book things through several different people. You've already booked it through the main person. That way you don't have to worry about anything else because that's my job.
Yeah. Um, your preference, the children or the adults?
um, I don't know.
It seems like people will well, I don't know, but I know parents that spend big money on their kids' parties. They're very particular about like
Mhm.
just the stuff. So it seems like that would be like okay.
Well, to be honest with you, I don't necessarily just have a preference yet because I'm so sorry. I have really bad allergies. I have been like coughing for the past couple of days.
But is it cold? What's the weather like there? Is it still cold?
It doesn't know. It doesn't know. Because, like right now, it's kind of like cold outside, but it was super hot earlier.
Oh, so
So
you
it's
got
like,
LA weather sometimes. Because
and
when we
then
get really hot days, the nights are cold.
yeah, and then it's like the pollen and stuff is outside. I got real bad environmental allergies,
Oh.
so it's like it's so annoying.
Are you
Um,
from there?
yes, I am.
Okay.
I'm born and raised in Houston. Um, so to be honest with you, I'm not too for sure which one I prefer because I love any and all themes.
Yeah.
So, and I'm very, very detail oriented. So, like for example, I have a I have a kids party next month that she wants to have them. Well, I kind of pitched her the idea to have the kids have their own capes with their names on the back
Oh, how
and
cute.
different stuff like that because it's a Batman themed party. And then I seen like they have like this cake stand that kind of looks like the Tower of the City, and to put like treats and different stuff like that in there. So like I'm very detail oriented when it comes to any and all themes. So it's
And it
like
allows you to stay creative.
yeah, I'm very, 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 very creative when it comes to like different types of stuff like that. So I don't think I have a preference as of yet because I'm kind of like having fun with whatever it is. Like if you give
Yeah.
me like, oh, you want to have like a JoJo Siwa party. Okay, I can find stuff about that too. I know she really likes bows. That's JoJo Siwa. That's her thing. Those are bows. Like maybe we could like buy blank bows and like little gems and stuff like that and have the girls make their own bows or different stuff like that. Or even if it's like an
Yeah.
adult party. My birthday was just past February 2nd.
Happy
I did
birthday. Happy belated birthday.
thank thank you. I did like a cowboy theme. So like I had I'm pretty sure you've seen it because it's super popular. But they have like the little shooters, and then they have like small pink cowgirl hats or whatever that I put on top of them. And then like I made like a themed drink called strawberry cowboy margarita. So it's like little stuff like that. So like
Yeah.
yeah,
The
I really
little
don't
details.
yeah, I don't really don't have a preference just because if you give me a theme, my mind is instantly like running off of that theme. Like even if I don't know what it is and I'll have to do my own research or whatever, I'll even go so far as to like watch if it's a movie, I'll even go as far as to watching the movie just so I
Just to
can
see the
actually
details.
yeah, just so I can get a good feel about okay, this is what this is like, this is what they're wanting. And I'm very upfront too whenever someone is booking with me. And I'm very transparent just because I feel like that's very important. I don't want us to sit here and come up with all of these different ideas and things like that. And then you don't know how much it costs and it's out of your budget.
Oh,
And like,
yeah.
unfortunately, you might want something, you have your heart set out on something, but it's not in your budget. And now you have to try to figure all of that out again. That creates even more stress. I'm speaking from experience because that happens so many times. So I try to prevent that, I try to prevent that for my clients to go through that because I know how frustrating that is. You be set on a specific theme for like your event, and then you see something that you want, and then like you're thinking about it in your head, you're
Y'all
visualizing.
start doing all this planning and
Yeah,
then you're
yeah,
like, well, the cost is.
yeah. Get all excited and stuff like that, thinking about how many pictures, you start thinking about that, and then it's like, it's not in your budget, and it's like, man, now I gotta come up with something else. Now I done got really set on this, and this is what I really wanted, and the entire
So
time.
how do you approach that? Do you just off the back say, okay, this is the cost for the idea you have, or how's that work?
Yes. So what I do is I send them a form, a Google form, and it just has like a list of questions, like the main questions as far as what is their budget, when is the event, what time is it, if they need anything specifically, what exactly that they know off the top of their head that they're wanting for their event. Just because a lot of times some people already know what they want and some people have no clue.
Yeah.
So if you tell me, like I don't have no idea what I want, as long as you can tell me the theme or even a color scheme, I can just pull something up for you. We can look at some inspiration pictures, decide if this is what you want, is that is what you want, and I can let you know right up front how much that's going to be. I also
So
let
do
them
you charge for that?
I don't necessarily charge a consultation fee, but I do charge a labor charge fee.
Okay.
I do let them know that my labor charge is included into their budget, just so they can have it in mind where, okay, this is how much money, that is left in the budget. Am I over the budget some? And then I type an invoice and I hand it to them. And in the invoice, it's a price breakdown of how much those things are, as well as pictures.
Nice. And how do you feel about price increase?
Oh, I'm not as scared about it as I was before. I'm gonna be honest, because in the very beginning, I was scared, and I know they talk about it. This is one of those things wherever you first start your business, you're like pricing and rates is like a very scary situation, because it's like you don't want to charge, or you don't want to feel like you're charging too much to where it's like you're not getting any clients, and you don't want to charge too less to where you get a lot of people but you don't have any money, and it's going to
You're
get to the point.
overworking yourself.
Yeah, you're overworking yourself, and it's going to get to a point to where people are literally just paying you or giving you the money to buy the stuff, and you're just doing it all. So it's not as scary. I do let them know up front though, just based off of the beginning of the conversation, hey, I just want to let you know if this is what you are interested in, because I only bring it up if it is something that they want. So like if they do want that, I just let them know like, hey, just wanted to let you know the price has increased to this amount. If this, like, is this something that you want to do? Do you want to move forward? Just to kind of get that out of the way, because if I'm not in your budget, I would rather you find that out early on so you can go ahead and find someone who is in your budget. Because I'm a big person when it comes to like networking and kind of connecting people. Because if there's something that I don't know how to do yet or I don't have it yet, I can find someone who does for you. It's not that serious to me. We live in Houston, Texas. It's more than enough money out here for all of us, to make. So it's totally fine. I'm a big person when it comes to connecting people to the right people.
Yeah. So is there a situation that you have been in where you are basically you have your back up against the wall and you have to pivot or like go in a different direction? If so, how'd that work out?
Um, I recently had a situation like that, like last Saturday. Out in my business, though, I've only had that happen to me twice. I've only had it happen to me twice, and I'm thankful that it did happen, so I can learn from it. Because I'm, like I said, like I pay attention to everything that's going on, especially because God puts you through a lot of tests before the big thing comes, just to see if you're ready, or just to prove to yourself that you're ready or not. So this last instance, like I said, I'm glad it happened now versus down the line. But I was the event started at 12. It was a networking event out here in Houston, that I was doing some treats for, and the balloons. So the event was at 12. I went outside to go throw the trash, and I looked at my car and I noticed my tire was flat. And so I was like, out of all days, like, why today? Like, it could happen yesterday, even tomorrow. It could have happened.
Right.
It literally could have happened even after the event.
While you were there at least.
Yeah, like, why now? So I think it was 7:30, 7:40. So I was like, okay, Zanisha, just calm down. This is what we need to do. We need to call the tow truck service people. We need to, because I needed to take my girls to the other side of town. My grandmother was keeping them for me, but I had to call her so she can come get them because I didn't have a way over there. So I had to do that, and then I had to, get my things together or whatever and get them ready so we can leave on time. So to make a very long story short, because the tow truck people was taking forever, I kept changing the plans. I had to have someone take me to the event. So I was supposed to be there at 11. I didn't get there until 12:15.
And what time did it start?
It started at 12, and
Oh,
I didn't get to fully set up like how I wanted to, because with the table I was going to decorate it. I had my decorations, everything in my box. I get there because it was supposed to be my things, and then another person's as well. And I was just going to decorate the table for the both of us. But when I got there, because I had the tablecloths and everything, they had kind of just had to improvise because I wasn't there. But I had let her know, like, as soon as I saw those nails in my tire, I had sent her a message. I was like, hey, I just want to let you know that this is what's going on. I'm going to try to do what I can so this is solved before the event. So that way I'm not late. But I just wanted to let you know just in case I am late. I had even offered her to just come pick the stuff up from my house until I can get there, just because I know how important it is. And it looks unprofessional to be late. Even though I was still communicating it with her, it was still like very bothering me.
Yeah.
And I am not late to anything. I cannot believe that I was this late. Even though it wasn't my fault, I was still just like, man, I cannot believe this. So when I got there, because she wanted the entire thing covered with balloons, but I wasn't able to do that in the time period. So she was like, if you could just kind of just do something. So I was like, okay, let me do something a little bit smaller, but something that's still full and can still, draw the attention into the room. And I ended up doing that. And then I had my chocolate covered strawberries and my pretzels and everything else. So it ended up working out in the end. And she wasn't mad or anything like that, thank God. But I was so embarrassed. Oh my God, I was so embarrassed. My anxiety was through the roof. I felt like I was gonna throw up. I was like, oh my God, this is not right now. Like,
so what did you learn?
So I learned because my car's name is Eugene. So my car is like the complete opposite of luxury, but that's okay. That's okay.
It gets the job done.
It gets the job done. So I'm always having car problems. I hate to even say that, but I do. It's just because I drive my car so much, and my car is a 2010, so I have to like expect it, which I do be expecting it, because I've also been working on my reaction when stuff happens. Because whenever stuff be happening, I be getting so mad and so angry. It just
You can't let it get the best of you.
And it gets to the point where it clogs my brain up to where I'm not really able to make a good decision to get the
all logic goes out the window.
which is why I've been trying to focus on it. So when it happened, I was like, okay, this is a test, because one, I'm having these car problems right now, right before my event, and I need to leave in an hour. So, okay, we need to take a step back. What can we do to help the situation? What can we do to get to a solution as quickly as possible? So it definitely taught me as far as what to do in a tough situation. There was a podcast that I was listening to, and on the episode, it's really crazy how God works. But on the episode, she was saying how that when things are going good, how we always have a positive attitude and things like that. And then when things go bad, we need to also try to still maintain having that good attitude.
That's where that grateful heart comes
in. Yeah. So I was like, okay, in this situation, I need to try to calm down, figure out what I can do, and also not let it get me to where it upsets me to where when I do get to the event, I'm not able to perform to my highest potential, and I'm not really giving off any good energy. And it's just not going to be good for anybody. I'm going to ruin my entire day. So I can be mad about it. Yes, it is annoying, but I would rather it happen right now, rather us, me
in the middle of the freeway somewhere.
Yeah, or something like that. Or we getting in the car or something. I'm loading us all up in the car, getting ready to go. And then I notice my tire flat. And then it's like, I got to be there in 2 hours and I still have dinner. Yeah, so it definitely taught me to kind of just assess the situation or whatever and just kind of, get it together. Because, man, my car situation, literally, I used to get so mad. Like, I used to get so mad because it always happens at the worst times. But then it was just like, at this point when it happens, I'm like, okay, let's just calm down. Are we okay? Are we in a safe location? What can we do to make it better? So, yeah.
What motivates you?
To be honest with you, my kids and my mom motivates me. My mother, she passed away in 2007. My business is actually named after her, and it started after her because her middle name is LaShawn, and my daughter's middle name is LaShawn. So when I'm growing up, she passed away when I was 6. It was 4 days before my 7th birthday. I saw her a lot, but at the same time, not really, because she was so sick. She had lupus, so she was constantly in a hospital. But she was in school to be a lawyer, and she was actually getting ready to take her bar exam right before she passed. But she motivated me in a way that nobody else has. I don't think anybody else is able to do, just because I have stage 4 endometriosis, and that disease within itself is extremely hard. It's hard on me mentally, it's hard on me physically, it's hard on me emotionally. And there's days to where I have to literally fight with myself to get out of the bed because I'm in so much pain, or I wasn't able to get as much sleep because I'm hurting and I'm in so much pain. So seeing her still get up every day and show up and still do, go after her dreams, chase her dreams, live her life and do what she wanted to do, it definitely motivated me to be like, okay, if she can do it, to the very end, we can do the same thing, or at least keep trying until we can't. And then for my kids, I just I want them to have I want them to have someone in their life in their life that does what they want to do. Because I'm very big on doing what you want to do, living your truth, being you, being true to yourself. And I'm always instilling that into them. If this is what you like, that's what you like. That's okay. If this is if you don't like that no more, that's fine too. Like, even my kids' birthday parties is tailored specifically to their liking. My oldest daughter, she just turned 6 on February 15th. She's like me in regards to being carefree and literally liking any and everything and not caring, which I absolutely love about her. Like, for example, her birthday's in February. So for her 5th birthday, she loves vampires and she likes spa treatments and different stuff like that. So I combined them together and I gave her a vampire themed spa party.
How cute.
And I had got a hotel room. I decorated the entire hotel room with vampire stuff. I had got fake blood bags for them to drink out of, and it was juice. Like, we had a whole thing. And it's like, now she's into science. She loves science. So she had like a mad scientist themed party. We just went to like a place around the corner from me. I don't think it's in LA yet, but it's called Little Beakers, and it's just a giant science lab for kids. They have like over 100 different type of experiments and things like that for them to do in there.
How
And she
cute.
she had a blast. So it's like, I'm I'm very observant when it comes to the things that they like, just so they can experience that and they can know that, hey, mommy, supports me in the things that I like. If mommy says that it's okay that I like this, and it's okay. I feel like it's very important for them to have someone like that in their lives that does what they want to do, just because a lot of times people be working jobs or whatever that they don't like and doing things that they don't like strictly because they feel as if they do follow their dreams, it's just not going to go well for them, or they're not able to take that first step, so they're miserable in a sense. And I don't want them to see that. I want them to be able to have the idea that if I decide to do this, it's okay, or if I decide to go in this route, it's okay too.
That is very important for girls, especially little girls, because females in general, they either, if they don't have that, they either end up in situations like women. I know a bunch of women that are with men that they don't even like, or
Yeah,
they're with men that don't like them, or like, and that all just stems from the little girl in the woman that is like, okay, make a decision and like move
yeah,
on, or make a decision to find a man that actually likes you.
yeah,
So that is very important. And then to go back to the mom, I think that's what moms do for us, like moms that are, I guess, in our lives. But they regardless if it's a positive or a negative, like they inspire us to like get to it.
yeah. True.
So
That's
I
true.
yeah. What would you say to you um before babies and you 10 years from now?
Okay, so me before babies. It's funny because I talk. I've been talking lately about how I've been paying closer attention to younger me and adolescent me, lately, just because they say all the time that how your younger versions of you are still present, and if they're still hurt, then it'll in a like it'll affect your adult years. And I've been noticing that.
Mhm.
And young me was just, I don't know how to put it, because I want to say misunderstood, but it was like I was misunderstood, but I at the same time didn't want people to understand me in a
I'm
way.
still misunderstood.
So it's, so young me was just, I liked what I liked, I wanted what I wanted, and I went after it. I went after it. I knew I didn't want to just have like a regular job. I didn't know what I wanted. Well, no, let me scratch that. I knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't necessarily know exactly how I was really just gonna do it. Because before I had my daughters, I wanted to be a travel journalist. Yeah, a travel journalist. And that was just because I loved traveling and I love writing. I love creative writing. I love descriptive writing in general. Um, and that's what I wanted to do. And then when I got pregnant with my oldest daughter, I could still do that. But I was like, no, I want her to go to public school. I don't want to homeschool her. I want her to be able to get that public school experience that I had. I had a really good public school experience, so I want her to have that. And I know with me being a travel journalist, I'm gonna have to homeschool her, and I don't know how to do that. So I was like, all right, no, I'm not gonna do that. So then that's when I shifted into PR. And I was like, okay, yes, I love this. I can definitely be a PR agent. This would be cool for me, a PR specialist. And then that's when I learned that there's several different categories in that. Because when I would tell people that, they'll be like, well, which one do you want to go into? And I was like, what do you mean? And they were like, there's sports PR, there's food PR, there's fashion PR. And I'm like, okay, I don't know yet.
I'll
So
be like, I don't
yeah, I was like, I
know.
don't, I was like, I don't know. And I think if I remember correctly, I think I changed it to business PR, because I like how behind the scenes stuff is. Like I like setting all of that stuff up. So that's what I was kind of dabbling in. So that's what I want to do, business PR. And then, like I said, I recently decided to change all of that into becoming an event planner. And I think that was just simply because I went through like a 2-year period to where I felt like I was stuck. And I would tell my friends that, and I'm like, I don't know why, y'all, but I just feel stuck. Like, I don't know what it is. I just feel stuck. And my friend, she was like, well, just pray about it. Just pray about it. And, stuff will start coming to you. And I went through a really, really bad heartbreak that I think is what triggered me doing different stuff, and like my brain kind of like starting to like the wheels start.
Heartbreaks just put us on a whole
Yeah,
nother path of
man, man,
like
I
I'm grateful for them little heart. They are painful, but I be
they are,
grateful for
they
my little
are.
heartbreaks.
I'm starting to learn that those heartbreaks, what's on the other side of the heartbreak is 10 times better. It's just
Yeah.
get it through it is the problem. And at that time, it was so bad. It was so bad. But
Girl,
like
I
I said,
know.
it literally caused like the hamster in my brain to start running again, to where I was like, okay, no, we're not gonna be sad no more. We need to do something. What is it? And I was like, I think I said, I need to go back to the drawing board as far as my business goes. Yeah, that's what it was. I was like, okay, no, I need to go back to the drawing board as far as my business goes. So I was listening to different podcasts, and I started reading more. Well, no, I started reading again. So I started ordering different books or whatever, self improvement books, and I started listening to podcasts and started reading. And from there, I started looking at vision boards and things like that. And then that's when I decided that I wanted to start becoming a Black woman in luxury. So it was like little stuff started like popping up here and there that I started feeding my attention to, and then it just kind of just sprouted. It really kind of just sprouted from there. But I would honestly just tell young me that it's okay, and it's going to be okay. Just because my mom passing took it really kind of put me in a really bad mental headspace, to be honest with you. And I didn't get out of it until recently. So like last year, I didn't get out of it until like last year. And it was just because I wasn't necessarily mad at God and I wasn't even mad at her. I was just more so frustrated at the fact that I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like I'm just here and I don't know what it is that I'm supposed to do. I have all of these questions. I didn't really get to spend a lot of time with her. Other people spent more time with her than me, and I didn't like that. So I had so much that was going on. And then once I started my spiritual and feminine journey in 2022, and that is what kind of brought me to where I'm at now, to where I feel like I have a more closer connection with her and God because of my spiritual journey. Like I don't feel as sad anymore about her passing. I don't feel lonely anymore. I don't feel like I have a void anymore because that replaced it. But and then to 10 years me. I have in 10 years I'll be 34. And my plan is to have my warehouse when I turn 30. And my warehouse is going to have all of my inventory in it to where I want my customers to be able to go in there and basically go shop in a sense. To where they'll have like an iPad and like they're just going to be able to walk around the entire place, maybe sip, complimentary champagne or some water and just pick and choose, what they want for their event, kind of technically add it to their card in a sense. And then once we get to the end or whatever, we'll be able to sign the contracts, go over everything real quick, sign the invoice, pay, and then they're able to leave. So that's my plan. This is when I'm 30. And I haven't got that far in 10 years. In 10 years, I have not got that far. And I think that's just because I've been so headstrong on this one thing to where I'm like, this is what we need to be doing. This is what we want to do. But in 10 years,
what would you say to you in 10 years?
What would I say to me in 10 years?
What message do you have to say to you, the woman, today, 10 years from now?
Oh,
So
okay.
10 years, you're going to look back and you're going to be like, okay.
Honestly, I would say I'm proud of you. But the only reason why I say it though, and I know that's so cliche, but the reason I say that is just because I did not think that I would be where I'm at this quickly. Because, like I said, dealing with my endometriosis, and then I had experienced another heartbreak last year, so it was a lot going on, and I really did not think that I was gonna make it to the end of the year of last year, even make it into the beginning of this year. And it was just because I had so much stuff that was going on. My endometriosis is still getting worse, but it started to go downhill real quick last year. So I was dealing with so much stuff to where I didn't think I was gonna make it. So I would honestly say to me 10 years from now that I'm proud of you and thank you for taking that step of choosing to be happy, because it's easier said than done, but you can really choose to be happy. That's just a whole different thing for a whole different thing.
That's all it is. It's a choice. Everything though is a choice. Like when we get frustrated, we're choosing to be. I mean, I know some people may see that differently, but when we get frustrated, it's a choice. It's a choice to choose not to be frustrated. It's a choice to everything we do is just full of choices.
Yeah.
The goal is just to get better at making choices.
Yes. Or making better choices. Yeah.
So the idea of this podcast is to one, share you guys' stories, the story of the business owner, so that others can see that it's not that hard. I mean, it is hard. I'm not gonna say it's not hard. It's weird because it is hard, but it's not really hard. But the idea is to inspire. I talk to a lot of people. I'm an esthetician, and most of the people, like, soon as people lay on that table, they just start like spilling their whole heart out. And the root of the most of the things that people are dealing with is the spirit of fear. So the idea, the prayer for the podcast, I know you heard my intro, but is to like inspire somebody to be like, okay, like it's not that like I should, if she could do it, I could do it, or if he could do it, I could do it.
Yeah.
So what do you have to say to that girl or guy, whoever it is, that is just has all these goals, all these plans, all these desires, but they're just scared to do it? What message do you have for them?
I would honestly just say, and again, I know people say this all the time, but I just do it. Just do it. You won't necessarily get the clients unless you tell people that this is what you're doing. And I saw a quote recently that's been helping me as well, and it may even help someone as well. But it said, if God will give you the business idea, He will give you the clients. And I honestly would just say that, like, just do it. If you're scared to post it and throw your phone to get the anxiety. It's just like, how if you send a risky, text message, you don't want to see the person respond, just post it and throw it away. Or just post it and delete the app. Or just, post it and just, you can choose to either, see the engagements or whatever the case is, but just do it. You won't necessarily know if you will fail or succeed unless you just do it.
I agree. Just do it. Okay, so this is just a little fun little game that I do. So I do 5 words. Excuse me. I'll say a word, whatever comes to your mind, you say it. Whatever you say, whatever comes to my mind, I'll say it. We'll go back and forth. 5 words.
Okay.
Communication.
Talking,
Um, marriage.
commitment,
Scary.
fear.
Bullshit.
Oh Lord, lies,
The
lies.
lies, the lies, period. And excuse my language because I am working on stop cussing, so that's what came to my mind though when I heard fear. um so what's next? Like is there like a goal that you're like working towards right now? Like, okay, I'm here in this position now, but the goal is to be, I mean, I know you have an ultimate goal, but like what's in between that, those two?
Right now, so for this quarter goal, and a little bit more so next quarter goal, because I've been seeing a lot of business owners and a lot of successful business owners say that they split their year up based off of the quarters, and they kind of
Mhm.
just go in and like have, okay, for this quarter this is what I want to have done, for this quarter this is what I want to have done. So for this quarter and a little bit more so into next quarter, I want to have at least 5 different rentals in my storage unit for me to start renting off to people. So I know I'm starting off with some tables and some chairs, and then there were a couple of other rentals, like I was saying, like party rentals that I was wanting to get as well to kind of start off, just to kind of open up that side of my business as well. As far as the rental side goes, because I want to kind of focus on that for like I want to say like the next couple of years, just focus on building that and perfecting that and just getting that on a steady thing. So I would say that is working on the rentals and growing that.
So what's the bread and butter of it all right now? Is it the treats? Is it the parties? Is it
Um, that's a good question. Because somebody asked me one time, like, what is like the most popular item that is like at my business? Because I don't know, to be honest,
you
because
get a fair share of everything?
yeah, because since I do everything, if somebody doesn't book balloons, somebody's booking treats. So it's like if it's not both of them, it's one or the other.
One or the other.
Yeah.
Nice. Um one thing you've always wanted to do, but you haven't. And why not? Outside of business.
Um, what is one thing that I always wanted to do, but I haven't done it yet? Skydive.
Oh, how funny.
I don't even know why I want to do that, knowing that I have asthma and anxiety. Like that's just a recipe. That's a recipe for disaster. But I want to do it just to kind of feel the adrenaline. Now I'm not gonna jump out of no planes. They have a
I'm
place.
all like, well, how else do you do it?
They have a. I don't know if they have a place in LA, but they have a place here that's called. I think it's called Sky Zone or iSky, something like that. But what it is that it's like a tall, giant building, and it's basically a stimulation of you skydiving. So like you basically like jump over and like you're floating in the air, basically like how
With
you
the
would.
air.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
jump out of a plane. So it's like it's the exact same thing. The only difference is that you're not jumping out of a plane.
Okay, so
But
you want to fake do it.
yeah,
You want to kind of do it, but not really.
yeah. I want to do that first. I want to do that first
Let's see how it
just
feels.
just to see how it feels, to see like, okay, am I gonna actually jump out of the window or are we just gonna keep it cute at the place? And it's just, I don't know, like I said, my anxiety and asthma just be on a whole different level. But I think I'll eventually will get to the point of jumping out of the plane. I just need a little practice first.
I would get on the plane and watch the people jump out, and I want to see because I like just a view. So I would
Mhm.
like to see the view, but I'm going back with the flight, the
Yeah,
whatever, the
the
pilot.
pilot.
I'm gonna be landing back with him.
Yeah, no, I get that because that is terrifying. Like that is really terrifying because then I get to start to thinking about all the different stuff that could happen. We can go ahead and get this over
I've
with.
just never understood, like, okay, once they jump out, how where are they landed and who's coming to get them? Like, how does that work?
That's a good question. There's somebody
I've
I work with
always wondered that.
that he's done that. I think he said 4 times, and I need to ask him about that because he even got video footage of him doing it and all types of stuff. I need to
I
ask
need to
him that.
know where I'm landing and like who's coming to
Yeah,
get me.
that too. That'll be my main thing. Like, how am I supposed to land? Are you sure this is the right thing? Can we test it real quick to make sure it come out? Like,
Yeah.
I have so many questions. So yeah, I think that would be mine too. Like, am I falling on top of something? What do I do if I don't land right there? Is somebody
Because if the wind is blowing, who's to say where I'm
yes,
gonna fall? So
yes. And I'm not that
no,
heavy.
I'm
So
not
I'm
convinced.
yeah, no. Some type of turbulence gonna knock me into somebody's tree, and then we got an even bigger problem. I'm a,
Yep.
I'm a,
No, thank you. So I'll just watch. I'll watch you guys jump out. I'll hand you the cable if you need me. I'll be assistant.
I'll even put
Um,
me too, but I am not.
no. Me and two of my best friends, we went to Six Flags Monday. It was so much fun. But they have like I don't know, where they attach you to the wire and you
Yeah, I know she's talking about, and then you
they were
jump.
trying to get me to do that. They've been talking about skydiving for the longest, and I'm just like, no, I'll get on the airplane with you guys, but I'm not jumping out of no plane. Like,
I think I would do that at the Six Flags. I think I would. My uncle did it once, but I think I would just to, I don't know. I'm saying that now, offer me to get up there and they just be like, okay, let's go. And then I'm like, no.
just seeing like how they like draw like
Yes.
well, first of all, this is their body. They're laying like this, and then they draw them up to this pole, and then they just release it. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. Like that
Yeah.
doesn't look fun.
That's and it's like you just loose in the air, not even attached.
They're just flying
Yeah.
around
It's
with
like,
somebody next to you screaming and no,
yeah.
thank you. Final question. One thing that you would say that you are absolutely unbeatable at.
Hmm. One thing that I would say I'm unbeatable at. Hmm. I don't know. That's a good question. I have no idea because I haven't thought about it. There's a lot of stuff I'm good at though. It's like there's a lot of things that I'm really good at, but like, what am I like unbeaten at? So where it's like you can't do this better than me.
Like can't nobody else touch this right
Yeah, like
now.
you can't do this better than me. Oh, that's a good question. I don't know because a lot of
It's
the
okay.
stuff
I was say it's okay to pass.
it's just because a lot of the stuff that I do, I know that there's somebody out there that do it better than me.
I
So
mean, it could be anything. It could be like taking care of my men, taking care of my kids.
Oh well, yeah, my kids. That's
Cooking a burger.
if anything, yeah, it would definitely have to be like my kids, because
The whole mama thing.
yeah, they're literally just miniature versions of me. So it's like it's so funny because I was just telling my aunt the stuff they be saying to each other when they be arguing. I just be listening
And you
because
got two girls too.
yes, I have two girls, and one is a Capricorn, and my youngest is a Capricorn, and my oldest is Aquarius. We're both Aquarius. So it's like you would think my youngest was sent to balance us out when she literally just asked to the chaos.
I'm a
Um,
Capricorn. When is her birthday?
December 30th.
Oh, I'm the 31st.
Oh wow, that's cool. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
you would think that she was sent. Like when she got here, she was chill, she was kind of laid back, but now she just don't care. But like I was telling my aunt, I'm like, man, the stuff that they saying, I would say. Like
You they
the res-
mama.
yeah, like the responses to each other and stuff like that. Like they was arguing about something, and I'm just like, I would say that. So step in because you right for how you feeling and how what you said, and so are you. So I don't know. So like whenever they be fighting and stuff,
You just gotta let them have their way.
I don't want to step in. Like even when they physically fight stuff, I don't ever step in. The only time I step in is when I hear a specific type of cry. Then it's like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, let's
Yeah.
sit down.
And that's simple. That's good that you do that. That is very important. My mom on the opposite side, like she always chose a side. So yes, it is very important that you let them have their little battles out.
Yeah. Because another thing I tell them too is like with the whole sharing thing. Because I get it. Sometimes you don't want to share. I don't even want to share with them either. So I get it. But
Yeah,
I tell them, I'm like, if she chooses not to share with
it's
you,
hers.
it's hers. It's okay. You can't get mad. But if you don't want to share, so like for example, it's always candy. They're always fighting over some candy or type of chips or something. And my youngest would be like, oh well, she's not sharing, and then Aubrey's like, well, I don't want to share, and I'm like, okay, Aubrey, that's fine. You don't have to share, but just know when she has something, she don't have to share either.
Yep.
They end up
Don't
sharing anyway.
forget.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they end up sharing anyway. But I always want them to have that understanding to where it's like, you don't have to share your stuff. I'm not saying that you have to, but just know that she also has the same right to where she can't share either. And that helps with a lot of like their arguments and stuff and their fighting, because I always end up telling the other person like, like, hey, you don't have to share, but just know I don't have to share my stuff either. And then they're like, okay, yeah, you're right. You do be having some stuff that I be wanting, so let me
Yeah.
go.
And that's a tip for life. That's a life lesson.
Yeah, yeah. I try to tell, because I realized as a kid, if I didn't know why I got in trouble, I would still 9 times out of 10 end up doing the same thing. So
Yeah.
I explain everything to them in detail so they'll know exactly why they can't do something,
Yeah.
or what's going to happen with this. Just because I know how I was to be confused all the time and not really knowing what was going on and knowing why I can't really do certain things. And I try to tell them up front where it's like, hey, look, you can't do this because of XYZ. And
And kids
my
are super easy. Like when you
yeah,
explain stuff to kids and sit and have a conversation with them, they're usually like understanding and
yeah, I
they'll
mean, like,
like
okay,
snap into whatever it is you're trying to get them into. But a
yeah,
lot of adults don't respect kids, so they think that's a kid. I ain't about to da 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 da. So that is
yeah.
a whole nother situation.
When it's really not even like that, they're really just trying to figure out, okay, well,
What's
like,
going on?
yeah, because like when we moved into our apartment, um, one of my glasses ended up breaking, and my oldest was like playing with the glass pieces, and I was like, Aubrey, don't play with that because you're gonna end up cutting your finger. You're gonna start bleeding. And so she was like, okay, mom, okay. And then she cut her finger. And it's crazy because she didn't want to tell me that she did it. So I turned around and she was like holding her finger or whatever. And I'm like, did you cut yourself? And she was like, yeah, I did. I'm like, that's why I told you not to play with it, because that was going to happen. She was like, okay, I see now. I see now. Yeah, with my kids, every kid is different. But with my kids, you have to explain it to them, which is okay because like they're new here. They don't know what's going on.
Yeah, most kids, I used to work with kids before I was doing all this. And 9 times out of 10, the child that I was dealing with, if I just sat and had conversations with them, or even like after they did stuff, just to sit and ask them why they did what they did,
Yeah.
like it turns out better opposed to just
Yeah.
punishing without even knowing. Like they have reasons for the things that they do. Not that they're the wisest, but it's their reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, do you want more kids? I guess this was the last question.
Uh, yes, I do.
Yeah.
I do want a baby boy, and it's fun. It's funny that you asked me that because beginning of 2023, I had a conversation with God before one of my doctor's appointments, and I was just trying to figure out. I'm like, if it's am I gonna have another child? Should I have another one? It's just because with endometriosis, it can cause like severe infertility, and my endometriosis is like really really bad, so like right now wouldn't be the ideal time for me to have another child. So I was thinking, I'm like, yeah, I think in 3 years God will be okay for me to have another child. And then my doctor did, he before he could even say, hey, how you doing, he was like, in 3 years I feel like you should have another child. So I was like, okay,
That was my sign. Thank you, God.
this is this is what we're doing. All right, got it, cool. And then at the end of 2023, December 19th, I had an ablation surgery, and that's when they go in there and they remove your endometrial lining and burn up that area. And when they do that, they say that you are infertile, but I know the conversation that I had with God. So if I do have another baby boy, thank the Lord, because I want another Cabbage Patch Baby. All of my kids have like round. I'm talking about all my kids. Like I got five. Both of my daughters,
All five of them.
both of my daughters, they have round fat faces like me, and
Oh,
I call them Cabbage Patch Kids. So if I do have another Cabbage Patch Baby, fingers crossed it's another boy, and if it's not, then hey, we just a girl getting over.
it's still a blessing from God.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I know it is late out there. Thank you for staying up. Thank you for joining. Thank you for showing up for me. Thank you for showing up for yourself. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I will be in contact with you at some point. And if there's any time that you like have something going on that you like to share, you want to come back on, just hit me up. I'm always open to it. But again, thank you and have a good night, ma'am.
Thank you as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Um, I did it. You guys, like I'm having so much fun talking to people. But what an amazing story. What an inspiration to talk to people that have real lives. Like they have stuff going on, but they still show up. They still create, they still develop. Um they're still here, like moving forward, pushing forward. So I would take that from tonight's podcast is to keep it pushing, like no matter, regardless of whatever hardships that we have, regardless of our losses, regardless of just whatever we have going on that could possibly stop us from um getting to the goal. Keep going. Don't forget to thank God for your blessings. Don't forget to say your prayers. Don't forget to take care of your skin. And I will be back. I know I have one tomorrow. I don't know if I have one or two tomorrow, but I'll be back tomorrow. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. YouTube, subscribe, podcast, uh, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Subscribe and follow on all platforms, whatever you're seeing or listening to this on. Bye.